My mother spent her final week refusing to see anyone but me, and I finally understand why nobody else was allowed to know the truth. I wasn't abused growing up, nothing so dramatic. I was just optional. The middle daughter between a brother who made varsity everything and a sister who cried on cue and got whatever she wanted the moment her lip trembled. I don't appear in a single frame of our family's Christmas card archive spanning 15 years, not because anyone hated me. My mother just always seemed to snap the photo a beat before I got into position, then shrug and say we'd get me next year. At my college graduation, my parents left before they called my name because my brother had a job interview flight to catch, and my mother insisted on driving him to the airport herself. I walked across that stage and looked for them in the crowd out of habit, even though I already knew. So when my mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer that had already spread past the point of surgery, nobody in my family expected her to ask for me, specifically me, alone. She wouldn't let my father in the room, wouldn't let my brother or sister pass the doorway. They took turns standing in the hallway of the hospice wing, offended, whispering about what could possibly require that kind of privacy. Meanwhile, the rest of them sat in the waiting area doing what my family does best, turning grief into a highlight reel that somehow always cut me out of frame. My sister started it, laughing about the summer our parents took the two of them to the lake house and told me the trip got rained out. I'd believed that for 2 years. My brother added the one about convincing me our childhood dog got adopted by a nicer family, when really she just wasn't allowed on trips that included me, so she stayed home with a sitter every single time we went anywhere as a full family. My father chuckled along, dabbing his eyes between memories, like the two things belonged in the same sentence. My sister finally glanced over at me sitting in the corner chair and said, "God, sorry, I forgot you were even here," in a tone that made it clear she wasn't sorry. She just remembered manners existed. Then my brother mentioned the time I got banned from family dinners for a month after breaking my mother's favorite lamp, and my sister's face went blank for a second before she said, "Wait, wasn't that me?" He shrugged. "Yeah, guess it worked out fine either way." They laughed again. My father told me, not unkindly, that I'd always been the low-maintenance one, the one who never needed extra attention, like that was something to be proud of instead of something I'd had to become. I'd stopped expecting a seat saved for me at things years earlier. I stopped correcting people when they got my middle name wrong on cards. I'd built a version of myself that didn't need anything from that room, because needing things from that room had never once worked out for me. Then a hospice nurse stepped into the waiting area and said my mother was ready now, and she was only asking for me. My sister actually said her out loud, like I was an unfamiliar name on a guest list. My father's face did something complicated. I walked down that hallway feeling like I was being called to testify at a trial I didn't know I was part of. My mother looked impossibly small in that bed, tubes taped to hands that used to braid my sister's hair every morning but had rarely touched mine. She motioned me closer and spoke slowly, like each word cost her something. "I need you to know this before I'm gone," she said. "You were never my mistake to fix, but I let everyone believe you were less than the other two, and I need to tell you why." She told me that before I was born, my father had a daughter with a woman he worked with, a woman who left the country when the baby was 3 months old and never contacted him again. That baby was me. My mother had already been raising my brother when my father came to her, ashamed, asking her to take me in so the affair would never surface and the family wouldn't fracture publicly. She said yes, on one condition, that no one, ever, could know I wasn't hers, because if my father's parents or the neighborhood found out, the humiliation would follow all of us forever. "I couldn't hold you the way I held them," she whispered. "Every time I looked at you, I saw the woman who almost took him from me. It wasn't fair to you. It was never about anything you did." She asked me to forgive her, not for her sake, she said, but so I could stop carrying something that was never mine to carry. My mother died 2 days later. My father still doesn't know that I know. My brother and sister still don't know I'm not fully theirs. I haven't decided if that's a secret I'm willing to keep for the rest of my life, or the first thing I've ever been handed that's actually mine to open.